welcome to a celebration of 50 years of satire on the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation's English television network. And now, your host for this evening, Mr. Leslie Nielsen.
Thank you, and welcome to a celebration of 50 years of satire on the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation's English television network. Satire is often thought of as comedy for the discerning and intelligent, a higher level of humor that frankly isn't for everyone, but that's the way we, who it is for, like it. After all, perhaps the greatest satirist in history, Jonathan Swift, said, "My principal design is to inform, not amuse thee." But, of course, amuse thee he did. Louis Pasteur once said of satire that it is the use of comedy, irony, or ridicule to expose a vice or a folly. He knew that satire destroys whatever is pretentious. And speaking of pretentious,
the joke's on us. 50 years of CBC satire. With cutting-edge comedy from the funniest Canadians in television history. Like SCTV, Codco, Kids in the Hall, and Wayne and Schuster. Plus interviews with the comic minds behind the laughter and the controversy.
in our 50 years of CBC satire, we have spent a lot of time trying to figure out just who the hell we are. We aren't quite like either of our founding nations. England is filled with uptight boors with bad teeth. And in France, they're all wine-soaked sex pots. Ah, the stereotype. The satirist's favorite crutch. Is this the quintessential Canadian? Is it this plucky heroine? Or is that just wishful thinking? The idea of a national character is likely a myth. After all, what does this Canadian have in common with this one? Except, of course, they both hate this Canadian. Now, let's see how the CBC comedians over the years have answered the Canadian question. Welcome to the House of Horrors. Unlike writers of fiction, political satirists don't have to look hard to find great characters. They get them right here. Heroes, villains.
Welcome, taxpayers, to the House of Commons.
And lots of comic relief. Although some of these characters here seem unbelievable.
Mr. Speaker.
Look at these guys. I don't know whether to laugh or scream.
Yes, Brian.
It's only funny, though, until you remember that your taxes pay for it all.
Quebec is mine. All mine.
You know, sometimes the satirist will stir up trouble. And other times, they stay out of the way and watch these guys destroy each other.
I'll get you later.
Boy, comedy is really about timing. I should be safe from here on in, then.
Long live Canada. Vive la Quebec libre.
Or not.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hey, come on in. Check this out. It's so weird. I'm a woman, but I have a beard. They call me the bearded lady. Yeah, I know, big deal. Probably your boss at work is a woman, huh? Maybe she's got a beard, too. Been so many social changes that you can't tell the men from the women anymore. Who wants to pay for a freak show when you can see one every day on TV? Divorce, drug use, racism, extramarital affairs, sexual liberation. It's all been on the CBC for years. Things would be better for us freaks if all of this social confusion wasn't on TV. And the CBC brought back hymn sing. I'm sorry if I sound cranky. I must be getting my period. Popcorn, empty calories perhaps, but delicious. Just like pop culture, which CBC satirists have sent up in very funny ways. Now, speaking of funny, my Naked Gun movies are hilarious, and they're at your local video store. You'll find them on the rack next to some very amusing golfing videos. Oh, yeah. CBC Satire pop culture is also worth watching. And don't forget, Men with Brooms, very funny. Can you guess what our next segment is about? This is a pretty good clue.
Good shot.
The American dream has been a favorite target for CBC satirists for 50 years. And why not? After all, American society is the richest, strongest, and most pompous in the world.
Well, I'm dead.
So, they have some problems that Canadians can't help but ridicule.
Ow!
And besides, as Rick Mercer has discovered, we can say anything that we want up here, and they'll never know about it down there.
Yeehaw!
We just aren't on their megalomaniac, self-absorbed radar. And let's face it, we are superior to them in so many ways. Oh, sorry. My LA agent, I have to take it. Yes. No, I'm not busy. I'm just doing Canadian TV, and it's nothing. Well, we've had TV up here for quite a while, 50 years, actually. I cannot go to LA right now. What? What? How much? I'll be down on the next plane. I forgot. What were we talking about? Watch these clips. This is the line that comedians are always walking. The one that balances taste with the desire to be funny and controversial. This is the most difficult line satirists will ever walk. Not counting the sobriety test, of course. Hey, Scott Thompson.
Hi, Leslie.
Well, what are you doing out here?
I love it here.
What the hell? The line moved.
It's always changing, Leslie. You know what may be controversial in one era may not be in another.
Right. For instance, in a comedy sketch in 1965, you couldn't call someone a dumbass on TV, but now you can, bleep free.
That would have come in handy during the Mulrooney years, eh? Hey, I just made a political joke. I just crossed my own personal line.
Attitudes changed. A few years ago, you would never have an openly gay performer on TV.
And now here you are. Leslie, what happened?
You just crossed over my line. Although good satire often has a political or social purpose that makes us think, the best satire makes us laugh a lot. That was a titter, usually reserved for a clever remark. Immature boys will sometimes titter just at the word titter. That is a medium chuckle. Kind of laugh you get when you gently poke fun at something. And... that was a guffaw. That's when you really nail it. Pomposity, pretension, and all of the lies crumble in the echo of the mighty guffaw. Satirists search for this powerful laugh, and in the last 50 years, many of them have hit it. We asked some of the greatest satirists in the country what makes them guffaw, and here's what they said. That wraps 50 years of CBC satire. I'm sorry we missed that one little bit that you like so much, but it was bound to happen. I hope you'll keep watching these satirical shows on CBC. After all, the joke's on us.